All right, welcome into another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mack here on 1010XL's podcast platform at 1010XL.com. We're also on demand on the website, on their app as well. We're on their Facebook page, hello Facebook, and currently on my personal Facebook page as well. It is Friday the 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody out there. A holiday like others, but a holiday that welcomes everybody to the table. So go to your nearest establishment and have a Guinness and get into some Irish love because that's all it is today, a bunch of love and having some good times. So be safe out there. Amateurs, don't be amateurs. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to be out with my wife. We're going to have a lovely time cruising through, and amateurs, stay at home. You need only the professional drinkers out there today. Because you amateurs, can cause problems. We don't want any of those problems.
We do not.
Hi, Graham.
Hello, sir.
Good morning to you, or afternoon. Happy Friday. You
Yes,
feeling
sir.
good?
Happy
You got your
Friday.
green pants on.
Absolutely. I can't
See, they
prepare.
call this green. I'm like, look, it's a subtle green. When you're Irish, you don't have to go full green. You go subtle green.
Yeah, no, that's green.
I think it's green.
That's green.
Glass half full. See that? That's how I live my life.
There's more than one shade of green, man.
I agree. Different shades of green. It sounds like a band.
100%.
No doubt about it. This show brought to you by Carpet Man. The new commercial should be out hopefully today. I'm looking forward to seeing it. We shot it last Friday, and so much fun. So check them out, of course, for all your needs. And they've got a new line, the vinyl plank, luxury vinyl plank. So check them out at prices that can't be beat. Also brought to you by my friends at Southern Grill. Great freaking food, man. It's just phenomenal, phenomenal food. Right there on the South Bank, owned by my good friend and buddy for a long time, Joey Ferris. So check him out. All right, lots going on. But people would say, well, not anything going on here locally, Tom, in Jacksonville. Look, you got people, first of all, I think it's a good thing there's not a lot of turnover. You don't want a lot of turnover in your team. Now, if you do have a lot of turnover, like we did last year, and you bring in the right guys and you spend in free agency, they're supposed to make your team what? Better. So you don't have to do that every single year, right? Look at the Atlanta Falcons. They just spent like $240 million on 6 players. They're not going to do that every year. You can't do it every year with the cap situation. So, look, you have to let guys go that you don't want to let go. They would have loved to kept Jawan Taylor at the right price. They would have loved to kept Arden Key at the right price. Supposedly, they offered Arden Key a pretty good deal. He went with the better deal, a longer-term deal, and maybe a more opportunity deal up in Tennessee. I love how some fans now, and even some radio and other people are like, he wasn't that good anyway. Whatever. He's only 4.5 sacks. Listen, that guy provided a spark to our pass rush. No, the numbers weren't there, but I think his presence was felt. I'll tell you what. Call me crazy, but I would have loved to seen Travon Walker down and Arden Key standing up next to him in that base defense and then slide Arden Key down on pass downs. That's where you get the most production out of that guy. And Tennessee, I think, look, don't be surprised he has big numbers with Tennessee. I'm not going to be surprised. Of course, they cut Bud Dupree to make room for him. Of course, Calvin Ridley is now official. That became official. Was that maybe early in the week, late last week? That's great. He adds a whole new element to our receiving core. He'll open up, obviously, deep throws for our team. He's a great route runner. He looks like he's in great condition. I'm sure he's eager to get back. I mean, look, the money is so great, and it really has been great, obviously, if you make it to the NFL. But in today's, and it's only going up, you should focus on that. Like, hey, man, if I put up productive years, I'm going to get paid. And I'm going to get paid so much freaking money that I'm never going to have to work again. And I'm not just talking the big guys. You look at what Wingard, his contract, he plays through that contract. He's not going to have to. I mean, he probably will go get a job or do something. I don't know what he'll do. Maybe he won't do anything. I don't know. Maybe he'll invest some money and make even more. I don't know.
He can come join the Catching Up with Tommy Mack podcast.
It's enough money to where you don't necessarily have to worry about what you're going to do after your career is over. Look at what the Dolphins just paid Mike White, the quarterback, to be his backup for Tua. Now, granted, he may have to start. They're giving him $8 million a year to back him up. 2-year deal, $16 million. You kidding me? That guy's never going to work again. You don't have to. That's what I'm talking about. So, and I'm not just saying Calvin Ridley. I'm saying anybody that's in that. Look, even you young kids, man, that NLI money, I don't know how long it's going to last, but I'd take advantage of it. You might get, who knows, maybe you get 10 grand, maybe you get 10 million. I don't know, but I'm focused. I'm even more focused. I was focused as a young kid in wanting to get a scholarship. That was my way to go to college. It was either that. My dad made it very clear at age 15. I can't send you to college. I think you can get a scholarship. I don't know, what kind of scholarship or what level or any of that, but you've got talent. You got to work hard, and or it's that or going to the service like your older brother Bob. And I was like, I don't want to go into the service. So I'm going to focus on that. Now add money to it. And for some kids, millions, even hundreds of thousands. I mean, that's nothing to scoff at. So, it's real from, I don't know, 8th grade on now, isn't it? And if you're an 8th grader and you got some talent, aren't you thinking about, well, man, if I really do well throughout my high school, if I stay focused, if I work hard, I do well enough at school or well in school, and I'm a good person off the field, I do everything or court, whatever, and do everything, I'm going to have a future and not just a free scholarship, not just a free education. It's more than that now. So, yeah, if I'm a player like Calvin Ridley, damn right I'm ready to get back, and I'm going to be in the best shape of my life. And whatever happened in the past is in the past, and I'm ready to move on and really help this team out. And what does he do? What does Calvin Ridley immediately do? And for the record, that doesn't mean it didn't happen with Zay or Christian Kirk, but now you got a real deep speed, a deep threat. What does that do? That immediately puts pressure on that safety. That immediately puts fear in that defensive coordinator, unless I've got a DB that can hang with him one-on-one all day long. Maybe Miami, Ramsey and Rose, maybe, who knows? I'm hypothetically speaking. But that is going to put fear in that safety. So that's what he brings to me. And what else does it do? It opens the underneath. How many times did guys have success this past year? Graham, I'll ask you, going across the middle, everyone flushing out, cross the middle, one-on-one, boom, just dump it to him, take your speed up. You saw it from Ingram, you saw it from Kirk, you saw it from Zay Jones.
Ingram probably got 200 of his yards this year, just off a little underneath stuff.
Same with Kirk. I mean, that was beautiful. Kirk is phenomenal in that role.
Yep.
No one's covering him one-on-one. You flush everybody out, and you got that whole field to work with, and unless you get a rush, and you get some pressure, that's going to be a big gain.
You put a guy that lacks lateral quickness on Christian Kirk.
Oh, forget
game
it.
over.
Or can just change direction.
It's over.
That's going to be the big one.
And now, to your point, now with Ridley, it works. I think it kind of works the same way in basketball when you have a guy that can shoot threes really successfully.
You got to go guard him.
It spreads the floor.
Damn right.
And your playmakers really have a lot more room to work.
Absolutely.
And you make the game, instead of 5-on-5, you make the game 4-on-4 or 3-on-3.
How many times does, LeBron, clear him out, get him out of the way, exactly. I want one-on-one.
Exactly.
Jordan.
Yep.
Name them. Iverson. Name all the great ones. Kobe. Name all the great ones. They all did the same thing. Shh, you guys go over here. I want one-on-one with this cat. Let's see if he can stop me.
And football is the same way. When you have that deep threat, you're raising the ceiling.
Without a doubt.
On what you're stretching the field on what the defense has to cover.
Yep.
And you've already got phenomenal underneath players.
Absolutely.
I mean, Kirk and Ingram are two of the best in football.
Without a doubt.
And Trevor has shown more than once now how efficient he is in short area accuracy.
Yep.
That's one of the best parts of his game is he's 5 yards, 10 yards.
And I said this on the air. You can't discount the play calling by Doug Peterson.
No,
because
not
he's
at all.
setting them all up. They're executing, no doubt, but he's setting them all up. So that's a good thing. Looks like Darius Slay will stick with Philly. Big rumor going around. He could be our guy. Look, now, remember when I said, what was it, a few weeks ago? Marcus Peters intrigues me.
Yeah.
Right? Get up on the... So if they were going after Slay, if that's true, I think it is. But let's just say it's true.
Yeah.
He's to play the outside. So Williams is going inside.
Oh, 100%.
So that means to me thinking that they're okay with that. So I wouldn't be surprised. That Marcus Peters is available. Can he play press is all I need him to do. He's a big physical corner. I want him to get his hands on the other guy across from him and let my rush do the work. We'll see what happens.
I would like Marcus Peters too, just to add some attitude to the defense.
Total attitude. He's street attitude. I think. I don't know his real background, but he brings that kind of swag. I'm from the street. I'm going to whoop your ass. I love that.
I think that defense this past year they were missing a little nasty.
I agree.
They were missing a little get in your face,
just a little bit more. Yeah, and not.
Rayshawn had it. I think he was really the only guy.
Rayshawn does have it. Yeah, I agree.
But he was really it. You know what I mean? Where I need one more guy that's going to get in your face,
right?
Going to make you feel him.
And whether he plays well or not, like I'll call out Jalen Ramsey. He does that when he's playing well. He doesn't do that when he's not playing well. He's a kind of a faux pas tough guy when it comes to that. I mean, on the field.
He does it when he's not playing well. He's just talking mess to his own team.
Yeah, blaming everybody else.
Right.
Blaming everybody. I tell you what, though, good for Miami. I'd want them on my team.
Oh, their roster's ridiculous.
Come on, that defensive roster especially. It's going to come down to Tua. And now Mike White,
Yeah.
I did find it funny what I saw a little clip. Jalen was addressing the media, and he was talking about the coach. He's like, yeah, he's a little weird, but he's cool. He seems like, genuine or something like that. I was like, that's pretty – he's a little weird. A little nerdy, like
Jalen's a little weird too,
whatever.
Though, so.
Yeah, Jalen is a little out there. No doubt about that, but doesn't look like Slay. He goes back to the Eagles, about $42 million. All right, free agents left on the team. Well, they're not on the team because they're free agents, but Jags. Arnold, Gotsis, Herndon, Marvin Jones Jr., Corey Peters, and Smoot. Pick two. Who you picking? You get to keep two. Who you keeping? Arnold, Gotsis, Herndon, Jones Jr., Peters, Smoot.
I'm picking
Smoot's
two.
Coming off injury. Let's say he's healthy.
I'm easily picking Smoot.
If he's healthy, I'm giving him a 1-year deal. Prove it. Let's get you back into the market.
Smoot. No conversation. I'm picking him. The other spots where I'm kind of got to think a little bit.
I'll tell you who I'd take. I'm going to tell you anyway. Okay. Jones Jr. You know why?
Yeah.
He may not get a lot of balls, but he is clutch, and Trevor likes going to him on 3rd and 4th down. And when he needs to make a catch, that guy makes the catch.
Really good leader in that room,
and
too.
He's still young enough. I know he's up in age, but he's young as far as the way he moves. He can still play at a high level. I'd like him in my locker room, too.
You would know this a lot better than me, but I would think that for a team that's really trying to make a deep playoff run, that believes that they have that in them, I would think that if you can try to get an elder statesman in most of the rooms on your team, that's worth just having the experience.
That still produce. They got to produce.
Correct.
Like, for instance,
you can't have a guy that can't play.
No, for instance, Calais, I'd bring him back in a heartbeat at the right price. I think he's got a fire lit. I love what he just said. Hey, I'm still going to be a beast. I still got more in me. Give him 20 to 30 snaps. I don't care.
Yeah.
And that presence. And I tell you what, you put Calais Campbell next to Josh Allen right now. Josh Allen's a better player. Right now, he's a better player. If you put that kind of guy, he was his rookie year. That was a lot to do with it. So Calais is still out there. Yannick Ngakoue, of course. Jan's still out there. Zadarius Smith, maybe. That'd be interesting. Frank Clark, maybe. See, here's the thing with people. They're not doing enough. It's not over yet. Just relax. They made the big splashes last year. You can't make them every year. And you got to make some tough decisions. Dempsey said on the radio that I guess Mia O'Brien here at 1010XL was reporting that they offered some pretty significant money to Arden Key. Shorter-term deal, similar monies per year, but he went with Tennessee. Why? I don't know. They wanted to keep him, and I know why Tennessee wants him, because Rand Carthon is with Tennessee now, who came from San Fran and remembers him in San Fran. He's like, I want him. And I tell you, like I said, I'd have liked to seen him at outside backer standing up, but nonetheless, he's no longer one of ours. He's the enemy. But he's still a darn good player, and I'm not going to be one of those people who's like, I wasn't that good anyway. I can't stand that. That drives me nuts. But you've got some pass rushers out there still. You got a couple guards out there still. The guy from Philly's a beast. If you can grab him, he knows Doug Peterson very well. So just, hey, man, just relax. There's much more time to go. Plus, we got the draft. That's when you look at it. Everyone gets in this, we got to have this, we got to have that. Listen, they made their run last year. I think it's commendable that they don't have much turnover because of who they brought in. I think that's very that means a lot. I'll go back to us, and I'm sorry I'm going to compare, but I am. 95 to 96, I think we had 50% turnover. I really do. I think we had half the guys were new on the team or close to it. The next year, it got less. Next year, less. 98, we had the draft. We had a Bryce Paup. Nothing. And if I don't remember, I don't think I remembered because that was all draft with Freddie and all them. So, yeah. Next year, Carnell Lake, we went for it. We went for the Super Bowl. We didn't win. Then what happens? You unload. Look at what the Rams did with Ramsey. They gave up 2 first-rounders for him, and now he's gone. Why? We won the bowl. It's worth it. We don't, not that we don't need him, not that we don't want him. We just can't afford him, and we're good. We're good. We got our ring. We want another one, of course, but if we can't keep him because of the money, he served his purpose. You go to Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson. I wouldn't give up 2 first rounds for either one of them. If you're giving up 2 first rounders for a QB, you better win me a title. I don't want to get close. I don't want to be in the game. I want to be winning the title. Then it's worth it, in my opinion. And I don't know. With Rodgers being 39, I know he can still sling it. I know he's got, he's 1 year removed from back-to-back MVPs. But just because he goes to the Jets doesn't mean the magic's going to be there. It doesn't. You just never know. I think it's way too risky to do that. Now, 1 first rounder and maybe a third, something like that, or maybe whatever, I would do that for either player. 2 first rounders, I don't know. Lamar Jackson, can you stay healthy? Can you stay healthy? You haven't been healthy the last 2 years. You haven't been an MVP since 2019. Everyone's like, well, he's a former MVP. Okay, I know, but that's a long time ago. The last 2 years, he's been banged up, and he hasn't produced the numbers anywhere near that MVP. He's a very good player. If we needed a quarterback, I still wouldn't give up 2 first-rounders for him, but, yeah, he's a very good player. If you said, and this is what's crazy about Lamar, in my opinion, I don't know Lamar, but he thinks or wants to be as big money-wise as Deshaun Watson. I mean, he wants that. And you sit there and you're like, well, that would mean you're the best quarterback in the league. And I don't think Deshaun Watson is either. The Browns, hey, they wanted to pay what they wanted to pay. I think they were crazy to pay that kind of money, but they did it anyway. That doesn't mean he's the best in the league. He just, for them, they think, yeah, I'm hitching my wagon to Deshaun Watson, and he better bring me a Super Bowl, or it's not worth it. And right now, we'll see about that. So if I'm Lamar, I don't know. I mean, let's be realistic. Name the top, go from number 1 to number 10 of top NFL QBs right now, today, and where does Lamar Jackson fall? Bottom 10 or up near the front or near halfway?
I think he's back half the top 10.
I think he's between 7 and 10.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe 8 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
Are you paying top dollar for that? I'm not. So
it's like what we were talking about the other day.
I think he's crazy not to take what he started to cut you off. I think if the contract is true, that they're reporting that they were going to give him 133 at signing, and then up to 175 with injury, guaranteed money, and up to 200 plus if he plays through 2025. I mean, you've got to be realistic, I think. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe he says, no, I'm going to hold out. Someone's going to need me. You know what? The Jets may be in that position if it don't work out for Rodgers. What are they going to do? They're adding all this stuff and new coordinator and everything. Say Rodgers doesn't go, which at this point, I mean, if I'm Green Bay, I don't really want him back. I'm almost jilted. Now, granted, he's getting paid regardless, so he could be like, no, I'm going back to Green Bay, and whether you like it or not, you owe me whatever. I think it's $60 million. So he's in the driver's seat in that regard. But if you're the Jets, what are you going to go with Zach Wilson again? You just sent Mike White, who may be your best quarterback. And I don't mean the shot of Mike White. He's fine. But he's gone. What are you going to do? Rely on the draft, maybe? I don't know. So Lamar may be sitting there going, well, you know what? If Rodgers don't work out in New York, maybe I work out in New York. Now, you got to cater your offense to Lamar Jackson. More so than you do Rodgers, but still have to cater a little bit to him too. But he's got Hackett as his OC in New York, so that's the connection.
It's already catered.
It's already there. It's waiting for him, and he wants to go, supposedly. By the way, I think it's funny, and congrats to Pat McAfee for pulling it off, but how many of the mainstream media were pissed off that he got Rodgers to say what he said on his show. I think it's awesome. You know they are. Schefter, lose my number. And I've met Adam. He's cool. He's a fine guy, but that's great. Lose my number, buddy. I'm telling McAfee. I thought that was awesome. But nonetheless, we'll see what happens with those guys. OBJ still out there. Zeke Elliott still out there. Bobby Wagner's still out there. Everyone's like, oh, this draft or the fringe sucks. It doesn't suck. There's some really good players still to be had out there. Including what I said. Other news and notes, Minshew to the Colts. If he ever beats us, not that it matters. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. We still got Trevor Lawrence. But you better get after his ass is all I'm going to say. He's the enemy. And I like Gardner. He's a good guy, man. But he's now the enemy going to the Colts. Orlando Brown Jr. to Cincinnati. He's better than Jonah Williams. Jonah Williams was a weak link on that offensive line. He wants a trade now. That means Juwan Taylor, left tackle for the Chiefs.
That move just baffles me. I don't understand.
Well, I said this on radio, I'll say it here too. And this goes for Juwan Taylor, this goes for Orlando Brown Jr. and a lot of players. Like, if you're on the Chiefs D-line, you're Frank Clark, you're Chris Jones, you're any of these guys, you can't wait to go against Orlando Brown Jr. Because there's flaws in his game. And if I'm the Chiefs, I one of the first things I'm doing is I'm lining Chris Jones up over Orlando Brown Jr. and be like, all right, go hunt. Go get him. Let's see what because the Jag players are saying the same thing. They're going to play Juwan Taylor at left tackle. I guarantee you there's defenders on that Jag team right now saying, man, I want a shot at that. I want a shot at going against him one-on-one. Does he have the goods to play left tackle? He may. I hope he does for them and, well, not for them, but for him. I want him to. I mean, he's getting $60 million guaranteed regardless.
He's just not a left tackle, dude. He's never played it.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
I'll tell you what's concerning me like the past couple of days. I keep seeing this like my thinking is Juwan's gone. Walker Little's a lock to be my tackle.
I think so too.
But then you're sitting, he's going to have to win. I'm like, I don't think you do.
I agree.
Unless you feel like he's your guy. And maybe I don't know what they're going to do.
Unless they draft the right tackle.
Or they draft the right tackle if he's there.
If they draft the right tackle in the first, 2 rounds, he's got competition. If they don't, I think that's his spot.
So that means something, though. If they do that, then they don't truly believe in him.
Correct.
So if they truly believe in Walker Little, look, and I know left is right. I get it. But I'm going to give the caveat here, and I think Juwan Taylor would agree, that Phil Rosher has made them all better.
100%.
All better at their technique. So I don't.
Maybe Doug's best hire on his whole staff. It's up for debate, but he's up there, man.
Debate. I agree. But
dude's been unbelievable.
They've really, they were the star. Other than Trevor, they were stars. They gave up 28 sacks for the whole year.
And just like you just said,
thought that.
And like you just said, and this is directly reflective of the offensive line coach, outside of Scherf, who they brought in free agency last year, and I guess Fortner, because he was a rookie. The other 3 guys were here the year before.
Yeah.
They all got better.
Without a doubt.
Remarkably
Without
better.
a doubt. Fortner, I got to see more out of him in year 2. I commend him for starting every game.
He's got to get stronger.
He's a tough dude, though. He's feisty. He's got the right attitude, but he needs a little more work. Look, Ben Barch, I think, was playing well before he got hurt.
I do too.
You're going to give him a chance, but you can't. There's no guarantee on that. There's no sure thing on that. So if you got a chance to bring someone in to at least give him competition, you do it. And then look, before Cam got hurt, he was playing damn well,
really well.
And you love his attitude.
He was having his best year.
Healthy, I'm good.
He was having his best year.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Juwan had a career year. Just like Barch got much better. Yep. Shatley played really well.
And Barch, look, he seems athletic enough to play both. Whether he's kicking back with his left foot or kicking back with his right foot, I don't think that's going to change the way he plays. And again, I'll go back to Phil Rosher with the technique. I feel it's like if the Jags draft Jalen Carter, just say false. I'm not saying he is. Just say it. I trust that Doug Peterson can figure him out. I trust that the organization, based on their culture and what they're doing, that they'll get the most out of that young man. Is it risky? It is. What mitigates my risk? Well, who's going to handle him? Who's going to handle him? Obviously. Why he showed up the way he did for his pro day, I have no idea. I know he's got a lot on his mind, obviously, with the accident, everything going on there, what's going to happen, yada, yada. Actually, I think they figured out he's only getting, and I shouldn't say only, he's getting community service, fine. I don't know why you show up. You can't even finish drills, and you're supposed to be the number 1 pick overall. That throws up a lot of red flags for you. However, you slide 24th.
That throws up a lot of red flags if you're picking him number 1 overall. Picking him at 24?
Right.
Okay.
You take the risk. But part of the mitigation of that risk is knowing that he's coming into the
100%.
locker room of Doug Peterson. And
this is not exactly an Urban Meyer locker room anymore.
No. And not that he's some kind of, I don't know his whole history, background, Jalen Carter. All I know is that he had that accident and he showed up out of shape for his pro day. And that's enough to be like, I got to talk to this kid before I even think. I got to sit him and look him in the face, and he's got to look me in the face, and he's got to make me feel like I believe him when he says I'm dedicated to being the best professional football player that I can be. And if I believe that, my gut says okay, and I got to manage it, right? You got to manage all your players. The number 1 job of a head coach in any sport, in my opinion, is managing the personalities of his players and his staff, getting them motivated and getting them prepared to win. That's it. That's like the number 1 thing. You may treat guys a little bit different based on their personality. It's okay. And I don't mean preferential treatment. I just mean the way you interact, the way you talk. Some guys like talking. Some guys like being left alone. Some guys don't want you to know everything about them. Some guys are like, I'm an open book. What do you want to talk about?
And listen, how good you are may get you a little preferential treatment.
Yeah. I'm all for star treatment.
That's facts. Now, there's a line.
Yep.
There's a time that it goes too far and all that.
As a former player who was a grunt, not a star player, you understood the star player.
Yeah.
And you understood preferential treatment, and it was okay. You still, so what? He gets to sit out of practice, and I got to practice? Big freaking deal. I don't care. You know what I mean? And practice, you get like how many reps? You do reps of 3. You do like a set, you come out for 9. Set, you come out for 9. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm dying out here in the middle of the regular season. But no, and I tell you what, that's why grunt ball players make great head coaches, because they know, they've seen it. They know what to do with the star player, and it doesn't bother them. And then they also know the importance of the grunt, the guards, the backers, the special teamers, the wingers. I mean, you need a guy like Andrew Wingard on your team. Why? Because he'll do everything you want that you ask of him. He'll do it at 100%. He's got the goods to play the game. He can fill the void if need be as a starter, and he's a great special teams player. And everybody likes him, and he's good in infectious attitude. That's why you got to have a guy like Andrew Wingard on your team. Look, is he a star player? No, but he's a damn good grunt. He's a big grunt. And there's no negative connotation when it comes to that term.
He makes plays too, man.
Damn right he does.
He makes plays,
Dude, let me tell you something. That guy caught so much grief. And I remember I was like, he's the only one that's lasted like 3 coaching changes. Think about that. That says a lot about him as a player. Most new coaches are like, I'm bringing in my own guys. Who's he? No, he's out of here. No, I need that guy in my locker room.
To be the type of guy he is, like on the roster positionally, and to survive everything he survived is amazing.
No doubt.
That's unbelievable.
Absolutely.
How do you be a special teams, one of the last guys on the roster type of guy, and survive all those coaching? Right. That's crazy.
You know why? Because you can count on him.
Yeah, 100%.
You can count on him. He will deliver when called upon. I'm going to deliver some Guinnesses to my belly is what I'm going to deliver. I didn't like my new shades. My wife says they're 2 1990s. I went to Ross for less. I don't spend a lot on sunglasses. These are like $15 because I break them or I lose them or whatever. My fat head.
You kind of look like you're about to run the 100-meter.
100-meter race?
Yeah.
No, that wouldn't be me. My wife says 290s. Now I got another pair that's not so 90s, but I really like this pair. It just covers my whole eyes. You never know where I'm looking. I could be friendly. I could be mean. I could be nasty. I could be really, nice.
And you just see it with like a
sweet.
tux.
A tux.
Like all business. That'd be sick.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. That's going to do it for us this time around. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody out there. Happy Friday to everybody out there, man. It's great to be alive. And look, man, You got one shot at this thing called life here on Earth, so you might as well make the most of it. Have fun while you're out there. Be smart. Be safe. Take care of each other. And till next time, stay safe and be cool. We'll see you right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mack on 1010XL's podcast platform at 1010XL.com. Peace.